Listen, never in my life associated the word boring with baseball.
We know what's up.
Me? Yeah. Famous? Yeah.
And I'm like giddy over there smiling like, we're about to win this shit.
Did everyone give you crap? Give me a good host story.
I'm not picking it up.
We both love the game.
We talk about it every day.
Get on baseball.
Having some popcorn, you're fooling around your phone.
I'd have to wait in line for 3 hours.
Hang on, because it's about to be a wild ride.
There's nobody. Wait, Rickroll. Wait. There's actually somebody I'd rather have on the podcast right now than Julian McWilliams. Who would it be?
Trying to hold in my laugh.
You can't.
I was sitting here like this. I was like,
You can't. It's funny. I was in Worcester before I asked you who I would rather have. The only person on the planet that I would rather have on than you
is Peyton Toll.
No, which is a first. This is going to be a first. I was in Worcester and I'm interviewing two guys, Dylan Tate and Shane Bieber.
Ooh.
And Dylan Tate was it was like I had given the fourth pick in the draft, the greatest gift on the planet of the acknowledgement that there is nobody I'd rather talk to.
Oh.
And then Shane Bieber was just sort of like he was doing what you're doing. He was trying not to smile. Couldn't do it. But I'll come back to it. There's nobody except one person I'd rather have on the podcast than Julian McWilliams. Who would that be?
Shane Bieber.
Thomas Harding, champion of the world.
Oh, yeah, let's do that. Hold on. I got to do that again. Let's do that again.
All right. Okay. There's nobody I'd rather have on the podcast in the history of the planet except for one person. Than Julian McWilliams, except for one person. Who would that be?
Thomas Harding, champion of the world.
Someday.
That's great.
How has he not come on the eye test?
You know what? That's my next guest. I'm going to text him right now. Hold on. Hang on. That's going to be electric. Let's text him. Let's text him right now. Hey, Julian, what's up, baby?
In fairness, you do have to have things to talk to him about. You know, this we can't just have. I am so honored to have Thomas Harding on, who expertly covers the Rockies for MLB.com. So, Thomas, Rockies.
I just texted him. Can you come on my podcast?
Thoughts?
Yeah. He'll tell you about how he was in Todd Helton's house taking a SHIT one time.
Ooh. It's a great question. We went through a spring training, and this falls under the baseballs and boring after dark.
Yeah. My after dark.
Well, have you also been drinking your feelings away? We had baseballs. Joe Kelly has said when I said we're having baseballs and boring after the dark a week ago, he's like, I'm all about that. But then we actually did it, and I had to edit it out. So yeah,
it wasn't good enough for the airwaves.
I mean, there's after dark, and then there's like after dark. But this is a question you had mentioned. Thomas Harding saying that he went number 2 in Todd Helton's house, right? Correct? I'm not misrepresenting that?
No, you're not.
Right, okay. Coincidentally, we had this conversation for an entire spring training one time, which I thought was a great question, which was the most famous person that you've ever done that in someone's house. Because, Julian, it shows a commitment to being at the house. Right?
Yeah.
This isn't just a drive-through.
No.
This is a commitment. And I have a great one. Do you have one?
Let me think. Edwin Jackson.
Oh, really?
While his in-laws were there.
When what?
While his in-laws were there. His in-laws were there.
Really?
Watching visiting his family. And man had to go, man. It had to go. It was hard. It was hard getting to the house, and it had to go.
It's a great question. You can use that. If you want to use that
Yeah.
as an icebreaker for your podcast, go ahead. So,
Yeah.
uh,
So Thomas Hardy said he can join. By the way, so
oh,
let's set that up.
oh,
Yeah.
wow, real time.
Yep. Real time, baby. That's how we do. Breaking news, like Adam Schefter
Okay.
on TV, like it's not set up.
Well, my answer was you probably don't even know who this is, but get the Google machine ready. It was the singer
No,
artist.
Mike Lowell.
No, I've never been to his house. I've been to his
Pedroia.
guidance counselors.
Pedroia's
Guidance
house.
counts. Yeah, Pedroia's probably there. No, it's not Pedroia. It was the musician Moby.
Jeez.
Yeah, you don't even know
That's,
who Moby is.
No, like Roman Anthony didn't know who
Oh, Pearl Jam was.
Pearl Jam.
That whole thing was so depressing.
Yeah. Ooh, beans. I just have to inform an editor. When would you like? Thomas Hardy. Okay. Get back to that later, Thomas. I got a
all right.
podcast to record.
Thanks, Thomas. I know he's avid listener.
Confirmed.
Confirmed. Very exciting. But yeah, so in case people missed it, Roman Anthony did not know who Pearl Jam was. But the subtle, sneaky thing about that was that conversation started with him bizarrely asking me if I knew Hall & Oates, which is like
Hall & Oates. Who's that? Let me look that up.
oh my, you don't know anybody.
No,
But
I knew Pearl Jam because I knew
Mookie Betts, Mookie Blaylock.
Mookie Betts didn't know who Pearl Jam was.
No. And
okay.
So Hall & Oates
rock duo.
Yeah, rock duo. What
Come
was
on,
it?
man. I know some Marvin Gaye.
But that the Hall & Oates is the
Temptations.
70s. So I brought it back, Julian, because I love to turn my hat backwards, throw the skateboard over my shoulder, and say hello, kids, to relate to the 21-year-olds. I said, Roman, you know who NLE Chop is? We're tight.
NLE Chop.
We hung at the baggage claim in Atlanta once.
Did he know who that was?
Yeah, he seemed to. So.
But listen, these kids know who all these guys are. I don't know who that is. Oh, he's from Memphis, Tennessee, Southern hip hop. Okay, Sexy Red is one of his featured artists.
All right,
on a song.
Okay, we're gonna get more about Roman Anthony's likes, dislikes.
Yeah,
things that he is.
He likes lefties. Tell you that.
Like he likes lefties. He's evolved. He's a good player. So, but of the things that I want to rant about, or you want to rant about, I'm not here to rant about. One of the things that I do want to rant about, which it stemmed from. Well, I saw that Chris Smith of Mass Live had said, tweeted after the game on Tuesday night, said, I've been in a lot of clubhouses. I'm paraphrasing his tweet. I've been in a lot of clubhouses, Julian.
Yeah.
But I've never seen so many players in uniform sitting around talking and after this one. And immediately I'm like, well, good for them, because I can say this. I've never had a season where I've seen more guys after games sit in front of their lockers, stare at their phones.
Right.
It's become an epidemic. So,
yeah. No, I think I know we're going to get to him later, but people tell me what Jeff McNeil does every time after a game. He sits at his locker, pouts, and scrolls on Twitter to see who's saying anything about him.
Really?
Literally, legit. And then I went to the Mets game. I think when they played the Dodgers. I stayed for post game. I go to the locker room. Who do I see at his locker scrolling? Jeff McNeil. Literally, legit, a week after this person had told me this. No, all Jeff McNeil does is just scroll on Twitter to see what people say about us and his shirt off in his locker. Literally the next week, Jeff McNeil's sitting there.
Should I tag him saying, hey, Jeff?
I don't care. Yeah, sure.
No. I'm just saying.
Tag him saying Julian McWilliams said it.
Okay.
I don't care.
Maybe he wants to come on the eye test.
Maybe I just burned a bridge.
No, you didn't. It's just good conversation. You know how it works in baseball.
Yeah, those things leave. It's over with.
It
all passes by.
Anyway,
after a while.
That was
you taught me that.
Yeah,
You taught me that.
it does. It's true though.
You know what? And you were right.
It's
I
so
swear.
it's so true.
You were totally right. Like it's so funny how these things, and I don't know if it's because they just don't have enough like wherewithal to really understand. I guess it's just baseball. I don't want to come at anybody's lack of intellect.
No, I think it's just the desire not to be uncomfortable. Honestly.
Oh, that's a good point.
No, I mean, I think it is. And this is why I say that always thought baseball was the least political of sports, because you're not changing anyone's mind in politics. So if you're not
Right.
changing anyone's mind, you walk in there and you're gonna like start saying something to someone, and you have to see them for the next 7 months. Like that's why they don't talk about it. And it's the same thing. They're just. I think even when it comes to writers, I'm like, they're gonna have to see them, and
Yeah.
and then it comes and it goes, and I don't know.
Everybody gets over it. I certainly get over it. I don't really care after a while. I mean, you always remember it. Like, I mean, it might be like a one liner I might throw in there. That's like I might not mention that he went 2 for 3. I might mention the one out he made. But that's in the heat of the beef. Once it
Yeah.
cools down, I'll say you went 2 for 3.
Yeah, I mean, I remember one time. The heat of the beef is such a good thing. It's such a good way to put it, because when you're in the heat of the beef, which is okay, when you're in the heat of the
Your
beef,
heat of the beef.
yeah. First of all, you're not articulating what you want to articulate the right way, right?
No.
And
Yeah.
and I don't know if I told you this story about when I got into it with Francona once when he was with the Red Sox, and we're literally in his office in Toronto yelling at each other.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you know me, like I'm not really that way, but I had just sort of reached the
I
limit
know.
of
Then
like,
this that takes a lot.
yeah, it was, I basically like there was a line in the story where he took offense to, and I just couldn't see it. I didn't understand like what it said. Well, I showed the coaches, and that set me off. I said, well, I didn't write it to be MF by you and your coaches, like this. So
Dude,
anyway, but
it's go ahead. Go ahead.
no,
Yeah,
no.
I got
But
some.
my point is that I'm not when you're in it when you're in the heat of the beef, you're not articulating exactly what you want to say. And when you finish, you immediately like, I should have said this, I should have said that, I should have said this. And when I got up back to the press box and it's an hour wasted, but still you have to do it. I basically crafted an email of the stuff that I wanted to say,
Mhm.
of how it was like I didn't articulate it the right way. And in that case, it doesn't always work out, but in that case, he basically that was the thing that got us back on track. He was like,
Yeah.
okay, and so in the heat of the beef in a baseball world, it's a tough thing, man. It's a tough thing.
It's all group thing too. Because when you say, "Well, I showed my coaches," like you have guys say, "Well, I showed my agent, I showed my teammates," and they say it's like, "What are we 12?
Yeah.
Like, what is this? Are
Well,
we
and
having
that's
conversations like
and that's
grown
the
men?"
dangerous thing also. And it's also, it's a dangerous thing for the players, for a clubhouse, for a team, but it's also, let's be perfectly honest with you, it's a dangerous thing for the media too, where
Yeah.
we all get together, like they all get together and say, hey, like that guy's an idiot, that guy's a jerk or whatever. They do the
Yeah.
same thing with the media, and there's not a lot of free thinking.
Yeah.
We like
Yeah.
to
No,
think we
sure.
do,
No,
but
we do that. Yeah. No, that is. I mean, it goes both ways because the minute it happens on my side too, I'm like, I go back and like, dude, this guy's a dick, or this
yeah.
guy's this guy's that. And like, for real, what happened? We're in the gossipy business too, so we're
Oh,
naturally
yeah, we
gossipy
think
guys.
we it's funny because we think like the media is the gossipy of all businesses, right?
Yeah.
But they're sitting around as much as we are, gossiping just as much as we are.
Yeah. I mean, we get the gossip from somewhere, right?
Yeah.
That's why I always tell these players when they have an issue. I'm like, dude, it's coming from inside there,
Yeah.
right? And you just think I'm just pulling this shit out of my hat. Like, no, it came from inside there. I love it. I love the gossip. But like you said, you guys love the shit as much as us because you're giving us the gossip.
I think that the takeaway before we get to what we were going to talk about, I think the one thing that you have to remember covering baseball beyond any other sport is how long the season is, and
Very long
how
season.
and you do have to understand that you do have to understand how long it is, and you do understand you have to play the long game, and you do understand that a lot of that you do have to see these people, and you do have to, and if you do get into it, there is 2 weeks from then you're still going to have to see that person, and sometimes it doesn't go away, right? I mean, sometimes it doesn't. But I think ultimately it just comes back to, well, are you convicted? Are you right or wrong? Have you approached it? So and the thing that kind of stinks is that a lot of times when you go up to someone and to say, hey, let's talk, like this talk. And I think I've told you, I think there's been some players who thankfully have said that. I've seen say that as well. Say, hey, listen, I saw you did this. You wrote this, you tweeted this, whatever. Hey, can we talk about this? But
That's rare, I feel like.
oh, totally rare, right?
That's rare because
but
most
it's
of them
rare
won't
on
say a
both sides.
thing.
It's rare on both sides, to be honest with you. Like it is.
Well, yeah, I don't, not on your or my side, maybe on somebody else's side, because if there's an elephant in the room, I say, hey, let's talk about it.
No, I know. I think you're pretty good at it, but I think that for the most part, in the world of baseball, it's easier for everyone to stand on the other side of the clubhouse.
It is. It
You know?
is. Especially, I mean, I don't think I can't speak for the media. I mean, but I think the players aren't as confrontational as they put out there to be, right? Like the whole like machismo thing. A lot of times they don't want to talk about it. And a lot of times if you do talk about it, they'll stand down in some sense. Like, okay, I respect the fact that he came to me and talked to me about it because, again, like you said, most people aren't talking about it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we solved a
All
lot of
right.
the world's problems.
Yeah.
Let's talk. Let's. How do I segue this? Um, so I
Let's
asked
talk
you.
about some. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Some
I asked
problems,
you.
good
So
and bad problems.
yeah, yeah. So I asked you. Yeah, this is it, right? The good and the bad of baseball through the eyes of two jamokes. Um, But I asked you, so I say, oh, well, we can do who are the top 5 teams in baseball, which is always a good thing, whatever. But you said, like, I want to rant about this. And I'm like, that's a good thing to rant about. And you're going to explain what it is in a second, because I think that we're getting to that point in the season where we have to figure out what teams are best constructed, what teams are actually living a lie, what teams are fooling themselves,
Hmm.
like all of this, because we're past the trade deadline and places have taken different approaches, and people have given grades and praised teams. Oh, look at what they're doing. See what they did here is they couldn't get this, so they went and got that, and that's what they're doing, like this and that and this and that. Well, sometimes the best answer is the most obvious answer in terms of getting a guy. For instance, Dave Dombrowski needed a closer. Not complicated.
Got two guys.
Yeah, there you go.
Two
There it is.
guys.
Yeah.
Two. Not seven, not eight, not a starter because not a bullpen guy because he couldn't get a starter. Two guys.
Yeah.
Two. I think we make this harder than it needs to be.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Yeah, I want to rant about the Mets because all these fools in this industry, media, non-media, players, front office, scouts, assistant GMs, player development guys, people will hold these agents' water so they can get stuff. People will hold these teams' water so they can get stuff. The Mets, their pitching staff, starting pitching staff, is part of the reason why they suck so bad. And remember in the beginning of the year, from April to May, which, by the way, Ottavino's right, to June, none of that stuff really matters, right? we're looking and saying, oh, David Peterson, oh, Tyler McGill, oh, Clay Holmes, oh, they made him look. They made tournaments of starters because they can believe he can be a starter. You know what? Let's go. This was a pulling up, Rob. I was not ignoring you. But since June 7th, he has not gone more than 5 innings.
Who?
Clay Holmes.
Oh, yeah.
4 2/3, 5 innings, 5 innings, 5 1/3, 5 1/3, 3 2/3, 3 2/3. That's not going to get it done, right? So you're trying to do. It's this reinvention of the wheel, Rob, that sort of drives me nuts in this game. And I think David Stearns is a very good GM. I mean, heck, he built up the Brewers to be what they were for a long, long time. But when you get in these spaces where you just don't go out and get what you need, and all of a sudden you're trying to do the super bullpen thing. By the way, their bullpen's not that great either.
No,
right?
compare that when you were talking about this. Like the immediate thing that I remember or thought of because you're right, this is what they tried to do. They tried to do the super bullpen. We're short on starters. We can't get the starters. We're going to go out and get the Rodgers and these other guys, the Helsleys of the world. And we're going to have a super bullpen. But you know who? Guess what? You know who has a super bullpen? The San Diego Padres, who, by the way, also have good starters.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah. Yeah. And so then you look up now and you look in the second half of the season. They were in the first half. They were saying, "Oh, David Stearns, he went out and got this. They're one of the better pitching staffs in baseball." I was there when David Peterson pitched against the Dodgers. I think he allowed maybe a run or two runs and left to a standing ovation. I mean, you would have thought like freaking it was Mariano's last game at Yankee Stadium. The way he was like tipping his hat and going out like this, and it's like, thank you. 4 more years. Like an Obama inauguration or something like that. It's freaking it's like, what are we doing here? And then it's like they're one of the better pitching staffs in baseball. Look, he took a chance. It's all about development. No, it's not. Because you know what they are now? They're ranked like 27th, 28th in the league in the second half of the season, 5.22 ERA through today, or through yesterday. What does that tell you about a team, right? Sure, Juan Soto's not having the season that he's having. Sure, Lindor is not having the season that he's typically having. But you could probably count on those guys once to get you there because their talent. I gamble on talent all the time. If you're going to give me a guy who to gamble on, I'm going to gamble on talent. These guys gamble on prospects and player development. I truly believe that some people get off more about finding the Garrett Whitlocks of the world than just going out and getting Yohan Duran. I truly believe people get off on getting the Griffin Jacksons of the world. He has a 4.5 ERA, but he has a umpteenth spin rate, and he knows how to elevate the baseball and look at his splits. I mean, they just got to get him out of Minnesota and look what happens. And then all of a sudden he has a 2.8 ERA in the second half of the season. Those guys are the guys that bug me all the time because they try to reinvent the wheel. And you know what? It gets to August, it gets to September. And oh, by the way, these guys end up being who they are for the most part of their career.
Well, that's the problem.
It bugs me. It drives me nuts.
Well, so first off, what's amazing about the Mets situation is that I randomly listened to so David Stearns does a press conference a lot of times on Fridays, maybe every other week or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I randomly listened to his one, I think it was June, whatever. And the questions were, I think we actually posted the press conference on the podcast feed. Where how awesome is it to be to have such an awesome starting pitching staff? Boy, you were onto something. Boy, this is awesome. Literally, Julian, from that press conference on, it was probably exactly what you're talking about. From that press conference on, it has fallen apart. So
completely.
So
completely to a point where it's like now you're talking about piggybacking guys.
Well,
and then that's when it's like, uh-oh.
So this is all you need to know. Like they can argue that, we're going to figure out a way, whatever it is. All you need to know is, A, can you get into the postseason? But also for the Mets, it's not about that. It's about, can you win in the postseason? And the way that they are currently constructed off of what they've done, and you can talk about they might go on a winning streak or whatever, but I'll come back to it. Yes, last year in the postseason, for the first time in history, the relievers pitched more innings than the stars, which is incredible. It's incredible, right? The Dodgers were pitching bullpen games on their run. Okay, fine. But you know what else the Dodgers are doing? The Dodgers had to find 2 or 3 starters who actually could pitch, who actually could pitch 6 innings. They had Flaherty. Yamamoto was on the best run of his season, and Buehler had come out of nowhere. You had just enough, because you can't do it just with no starters, with starters going 3 innings. You can't do it. So for all these teams that are saying, well, we're gonna win through the bullpen, well, you can't. Your bullpen will run out. You know how I know? Because I saw it happen in the postseason last year. It doesn't work. And that's how it feels with the Mets right now.
Yeah, and with that, Rob, you get a team like these, like, bullpen arms. Those guys are suspect anyway. They're relievers for a reason. They're so unpredictable, right? So then you're relying on, say, 4 or 5 guys to get through 1 inning, and if one at bat goes astray, it messes up the entire formula. Now you have to try to reconfigure this entire thing and figure out what you want to do, because you messed up this whole the entire infrastructure of what you built for this game, because we know they game plan every single scenario there is, right? I think somebody talked about that on the podcast the other day. I can't remember who it was.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, it's like every single scenario they map out. But what they don't map out is if what if this guy's dog shit for just this one day?
Oh, Julian, you covered this team. You covered that A's team that played the Yankees. I will never, because that was the first time I think that a team said, we're throwing a bullpen game in a postseason game, right?
They had 1 starter on the postseason roster.
Yeah.
And it was Edwin Jackson in the bullpen.
who is still reeling from you taking a dump in his house. But I remember that game, because even before the game, I'm thinking the Yankees had a really good lineup, and all it would take, I said this before the game, Julian, I'm a genius, that before the game, I said, all it would take is one of these pitchers that they're running through there to have an off day against this lineup.
It happened the second at bat. Liam Hendricks throws a meatball, who, by the way, was like shitting bricks that game. Like, you could tell on the mound, like he had never experienced anything like that before in Yankee Stadium in the playoffs. Like, that dude, he walked Andrew McCutchen.
Yeah.
And I was like, uh-oh. Like, I think that Andrew McCutchen was the leadoff batter. He walked him. And then Judge comes up, hits a 2-run blast. It's like, game. That's game over. I spoke to somebody from the A's. They're like, that's it. All right, I'm going to pack my stuff up. We're going home. It's over. Like, that's it. It's done.
But that was, but that's the one that jumps to mind. Like, because like you to your point, all it takes is a guy who was either runs on fumes or can't handle the moment. And this is another part of this. It sort of comes to, maybe we should have ranked like which teams are best prepared for, like, best equipped to handle like a postseason run. But I even look at the Rangers, for instance, and remember, I mean, their run the World Series the other year, you had 2 alphas, Montgomery and Eovaldi, who were just, you knew they were like, I am going to dominate this. This is my thing. The postseason, this is my thing. And now you have Eovaldi, who, by the way, is having a historic year. And we know what he'll be if he gets on a postseason mound. And you have Merrill Kelly, who went on a run, who lived that life with the Arizona Diamondbacks 2 years ago. They get him. Like, they are, you can say what you want about whatever, how flawed they might be compared to some other teams, but all I know is this: is that give me that dynamic, give me those
Yeah,
guys.
dude. Like at least you go for it. Like that's the thing. At least you go for it. Right? I mean, and we're looking at this now, I think, even with say Boston, where these things don't necessarily all pan out. Roman Anthony, that looks like a great player. That looks like he's going to be a really good player in the league for a long time, all-star, probably going to have MVP votes at some point. But the other two guys weren't sure about, right? The Yankees went through with Clint Frazier, Miguel Andujar. Clint Frazier's out of baseball. Miguel Andujar's playing left field for the Oakland A's
Reminds
or
me,
wherever,
I was going
or
to say
Cincinnati Reds.
Clint Frazier needs to come back on the podcast.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
continue.
that's the guy I think that's the guy. That's a podcast that was.
Oh, he was on. He's been on before.
Yeah, I know. I remember he was on.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So you're just looking at those situations. You're saying you could have had Justin Verlander, but you didn't want to get rid of Miguel Andujar and Clint Frazier. That does not make sense to me. None of this ever makes. I go out and get the one guy that you need, and that's why I just love Dave Dombrowski, because it was like this guy, we're done. Okay, I'm going back to sleep. We're done. This is what we need. This is over. We're getting Harrison Bader because we need another outfielder. And then meanwhile, I mean, good for AJ Preller. Like he went out and actually like he got. I mean, he's always busy, but there's two ways to skin a cat, and I think the way those two guys are doing it. Obviously, you're talking about James Wood being gone, CJ Abrams, but there's no guarantee those guys would have been in that organization. You don't know.
No, I said this.
know.
I did a podcast with Sam Dykstra, and we were talking about, because he was ranking the minor leaguers there, or the prospects who were being traded. And I said, you can say what you want about AJ Preller. Like the conversation, it's kind of like the Dombrowski thing, right? I don't know you love false narratives. Let me give you a couple, and you can keep these. Put these in your pocket.
Okay.
One you probably already know. Dombrowski, he doesn't trade away guys that come back to haunt him. Almost ever.
He also doesn't what?
He doesn't trade away guys that come back to haunt him.
Okay.
Like they might make the major leagues, but
Mhm.
they don't become stars. He's really good at like, okay, I'll give you that guy. And I know that the guy Mick Abel was a first round pick, and I just learned how to pronounce this guy's name, Taiit, which is say it with me, Taiit.
Taiit.
He's the catcher that they sent. But Dave Dombrowski, his history, he trades away prospects, but tell me the ones that have come back to hurt him. I'm waiting. And then when AJ, he's traded away guys that are good, that are next level. CJ Abrams, James Wood, Mackenzie Gore, fine. But here's the thing, Julian. How many years now has it been where we've been talking about AJ Preller doing this, and we're still landing in the same place where they're good and he's still trading away guys? So they must still have guys to trade away. Like, there's always guys to trade, and all I know is this: all except for maybe a couple of years ago, they're in it. They're in it.
And the question is, when do these guys become good after you trade them as well? Right? It's like if you're looking for something in the immediate future, in the immediacy, because you have Tatis in his prime, Bogarts in his prime, Machado in his prime, almost out of his prime, Bogarts almost out of his prime, right? And you've invested all this money into them. Why am I not going to go back and invest in prospects? Like the one thing you can say about AJ Preller that somebody pointed out to me the other day, a fan actually, that nobody actually talks about, is that he drafts very, very, very well.
That James Wood Jackson Merrill draft, or the Jackson Merrill James Wood draft, it's in like Julian.
And there's other guys. I mean, there's other guys too. Like it's incredible what he's done with these guys. I mean, who's the one pitcher he drafted? Got to find this. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Well, and the other thing is that they're good at the international market. Obviously, that's what his background was with the Texas Rangers. They go to the international market, and it's funny because they got Yu Darvish, but they haven't and they got the what's his name, who now plays for
Trey
Tampa.
Turner. That was the one.
Oh, they drafted Trey Turner.
Trey Turner. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But
Brandon Strahan. Yeah.
here's one of the things I love about that I heard about AJ, which I also like. There's there's a lot of little things about him that you find out about him that are really interesting.
Uh-huh.
When they were going after Otani, and he learned Japanese.
No, really?
Yeah, he learned Japanese. Like not like a couple words, but he learned Japanese.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Like he knows the entire language. Like he's fluent.
I he'll probably say no, but I heard that you like could hold conversations.
So what did he do with it now? Just talk to you Darvish all day?
He says he points out on the Baseballs and Boring T-shirt what's wrong with the accent goo or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I know it's incredible. So it's like, yes, we talk about the draft, like him giving away these guys, but he's also drafting these guys so he can be able to get who he wants as well. I mean, that's a part of the game as well that we just don't talk about.
So this come back to and tie a bow on this and doing it this way. Now that we're free and clear of the deadline, right? And some players were like, why didn't you get him? And they stink. Like I just did the exercise this morning, Julian, very early return from the starting pitchers who were traded. And, there's some guys, it's been up and down. Like Merrill Kelly was really, really good and he had an okay one. But we can't forget, like, the story is yet to be told. Like Dustin May, fine, he had a bad one, he has a good one. But remember, Nathan Eovaldi, when he was traded in 2018, he pitched his first 2 games with the Red Sox were shutout, 7 innings, 8 innings, 2 shutouts in a row.
Yeah.
And then you know what? The wheels fell off and he was horrific in August. Horrific.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, the story was told, we know, in September and October. So we don't know right now, but we do have an idea we have a feeling of which team has emerged after the deadline of you feel like, okay, through all of it, they are the best prepared to actually make a run. And maybe it's a team like Milwaukee who really, it was amazing about Milwaukee where you say, well, what do they need to do? And people say, they don't really need to do much, which is like such a rarity.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but
I'm still not buying that though. I got to see that in the postseason. Like that's, then I think, again, this is what people get off on, right? Where you have people tweeting, it is August. The Milwaukee Brewers have won 73 games and 23 cents. And you can get this too if you pay people 23 cents. It's like, why are you preaching to me through Twitter on what like, I get it. Like, but like this entire thing, I'm like, let me see what these guys look like in October. And we can come back to this. I'm happily say I'm wrong because I've been wrong before. I've been wrong a lot.
You actually picked the Atlanta Braves to be the World
Series. I did. And you know what? I'll pick them again next year because I ride with talent over anything. Right?
I've got on Atlanta
with
radio, I think 10 straight times saying, no. They don't trust me. They're going to be good. They're going to be good. They're going to be good. And they will be good next year. Like, is there any question the Atlanta Braves will be good next year? No. And that's why they didn't trade away guys. That's why they didn't trade away Chris Sale. That's why they didn't blow it up because they know they'll be good. So
they should be good. I don't know what the hell happened there this year. I mean, it's mind-boggling, and it's truly mind-boggling. But like I said, I ride with talent, and it's great what the Milwaukee Brewers are doing. Sal Frelick, he's a local guy that's from here in Boston. Love to see this stuff, but let's see what this stuff looks like when the real dogs come to play.
All right,
let's just see.
Give me your top 4 teams. 2 in the National League, 2 in the American League. This is the final 4.
Yeah, I got the Phillies. And Phillies. I'm still going Dodgers. Dodgers
over the Padres.
I have to because you know what? Because I've been in situations where I've bet against the Dodgers, and it's like my dad always says. He always uses this Stevie Wonder reference where you can like be singing with like Stevie in a song, but then there's a certain part of the song where he's like, "See you later." Like I'm out. Like nobody else is singing with me anymore. I'm playing at a different level now. I've seen the Dodgers do that so many times with the Padres, where it's like you're here, you're here, you're here, you're here. It's competitive. We're gone. Game five, we're gone. You thought they were going to win that series last year. They're in total control. But like what champions do, it's like, okay, I'm playing with you. See you later. So like I have to see it first. I have to be able to see with my own eyes.
The best part
How
of what you just said is that producer Evan's going to take that clip and use an image of Stevie Wonder.
let's go. My dad will love it.
Easy.
But there's a
Send
certain
along
point in the
a picture of
song.
your dad too. We'll put that in there as
I
well.
will. I'll send a picture of his group him singing. There's a certain parts in the song where the Dodgers just say you're not playing at this level for whatever reason it is, and so I'm still riding with the Dodgers over the
Okay.
Padres right now.
Phillies and Dodgers. Who wins?
Phillies. I think the Phillies.
Okay,
I think the
Phillies.
Phillies. I think the Dodgers have had I think a lot of stuff going on, and I just can't trust that Blake Snell's going to be healthy. And the rest of Shohei
By the way,
Ohtani's going to be.
I love literally in a matter of 15 seconds, you just pivoted from the Dodgers being awesome to all the problems the Dodgers have.
I know, but those problems don't seem to present themselves against the Padres for some reason. Like I wouldn't be surprised. They played what? They're deadlocked right now, and they play each other 6 times. I think in the next week or so, or next 2 weeks. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if the Dodgers win both of those series, and we're just like, oh, okay. Like, can we just stop it all again? Like, that's just how they are, man. That's how they operate.
I think it doesn't even
It's
matter like who wins the
And I don't
division.
even think the Dodgers are worried about the division as much as the Padres are. I think I saw a reporter say that when they saw the Padres lost last, I mean, the Dodgers lost last night. The Padres players were watching game, and a couple guys cheered. It's like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I think that was more of like they've been chasing him so long, they just want to catch him doing something. I mean, they honestly, we said this before last year, not even close. The World Series was the Dodgers Padres. Like those are
Yeah.
the two best
Oh, for
teams.
sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
So, all right, this is a tougher one. The top two in the American League.
I don't freaking know, dude. I mean, I think I got to give the Mariners that one of those spots, and then I guess Mariners Houston. Mariners, Red Sox. Like I don't know.
The hater
Like I
thing,
don't.
the hater thing is not good.
Oh yeah, no. Okay, so
Toronto.
uh, yes, there we go. Mariners, Toronto.
Okay.
Mariners, Toronto. Those are my two teams because you know what? At the end of the day, I think the Mariners have the pitching to go all the way. And by the way, Eugenio Suarez has not been playing well on
Mm.
this 7 or 8 game heater that they've been on.
Mm.
Like he has not played well since joining the team. But what it keeps you a lot of times is pitching. And I could say something like the Red Sox, but I don't trust their pitching staff. I just don't. I still don't trust it. They're gonna have to show. I mean, if the answer after Walker Buehler, I mean after Garrett Crochet has a bad start, and you're like, oh crap, now we got okay, don't worry, we got Dustin May the next day and Walker Buehler today. I'm not taking that. I mean, I know Dustin May pitched well last night, but I'm not
Yeah.
taking that. That's just not. I'm not. If I'm a
This
betting man, I'm not a betting man. I'm
I
not
don't
taking
think
that.
there's more of a team than the Red Sox. Then you have to see where they fall at the end of September. Like you just have to see where everything falls. Like
Yeah.
if yeah, and I think right now you're absolutely right as always, except for the Atlanta take.
I'm picking Atlanta. Atlanta's gonna go on a run.
You like them? They're gonna go on a run.
They're
Like
gonna
Matt
they're
Fla-
gonna they're going they're not they're going undefeated in September. Gonna sneak into the last wild card spot, and
Ooh.
all will be fine.
Yeah.
Let's go, Atlanta. I never doubted you guys.
All right. Well, hey, what do you got coming up on let's promote what Julian has coming up because he's a national writer. What do you got coming up on CBS Sports, Julian?
Oh, I got something on Machado coming up.
Ooh,
Yeah,
did you
just
talk
about
to
the.
him?
Yeah, I did. I did.
Hey, I got a
Talk.
question. I got a question.
Yeah.
So last time I saw you, you were chasing down Roman Anthony, and then like you
Then a
interview
day
him.
later, I had no idea that thing was coming down.
No, no, no. I'm not saying you did. Were you able to use like what you
Yeah,
interviewed him about?
pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
'Cause it was just about
It was you interviewed him literally the
the day
the
before.
the day before that the extension was announced.
And
Yeah.
and then I was in sweet old Cleveland, pulling up to my hotel, and the editor texts me and says, well, I think you might have to change around the Roman Anthony story. I'm like, why? What happened? I'm like, oh, he got hurt. His back. That damn
Were you like
back.
me like so I've asked Roman I'd asked Roman at least 3 or 4 times about contract extensions, right? I asked him in
Yeah.
Worcester, I asked him in spring training, I asked him in Worcester, and I asked him since he had get called up to the Red Sox. The the answer in spring training in Worcester was we talked, but nothing substantial, nothing, nothing, nothing. The answer in Boston, no, since I got called up, we haven't talked at all. We're just not going to talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
So, and then I had also talked to him for a shorter interview. This is when the Hall of Notes Pearl Jam thing came up. But I didn't. I asked him about his, I don't know, his back or something. But were you like me, where I'm like, why didn't I ask him about his contract? Because we
Yeah.
asked that almost like all of us. We always ask that.
I think you know what it's in part him too, right? Like it's his the way he answers you is just so mature and everything. So you're like, okay. Versus Campbell, like, what do you know?
What do you mean? What's going on? What do you
What do you
mean?
mean? No, we didn't talk about anything, but and
Yeah,
you're like,
Roman. Here's my guess of how Roman would answer that. And this a good thing is like we can ask him. Okay, let's play this scenario out. Why were you done that? He probably would say, nah, we've talked a little bit, but I don't think there's anything close. And meanwhile, basically, like they're just trying to
his
find
agent was on a plane.
they're trying to find the right pen to sign it with. So yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
all right. Well, good
All
stuff.
right.
Good
We
work.
solved a lot of the world's
We
problems.
certainly did.